Hey traders, how you doing? Happy Monday. Welcome back. Let's check out the charts. How you guys doing Friday? I didn't trade. Just I don't know. Something about this month has just got me in a funk. A funk. Here's the hourly. Right? It's starting to pull up. It's gonna run into this guy. Excuse me. Right? It's gonna run into this guy. Now, throughout our swings, price is still up. And it just had a big pullback. And really, if you think about it, didn't do it. But this is kind of the wash, right? This is where we have our kill zone. Oh, so close. So close. Right there. That's that shelf. And I'm not making this stuff up, guys. I'm just pointing it out to you. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? We open the box. Take a couple days off. It gets a little sketchy. So yeah, you have shelf, right? Impulse leg, step 1, step 2, shelf, step 3, wash, retest. It can come back. Sorry, just kind of itchy back. It can come back here, right? Hit here and then come back and then take off again. It's a weird market, and it's hard dropping hard too. Those those you know those sell-offs are just quick. I don't know. So we gotta stick to the basics. Where's my chart stuff? I don't know what my stuff is. Down here. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I'm just running late today. Had a what I did. What I do. Oh my gosh. I'm just struggling with this thing right now. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Trying to find. Okay, here we go. No, professional, right? Guys, this is what we're looking for. 3-to-1 trade, right? So to find a 3-to-1 trade, we have to buy it back toward the wash, back in the pivot. So we're looking for an impulse leg. That's our first step. Step 2 is a shelf. Step 3 is the wash. Step 4 is the test or takes out new low. Step 5 is enter. As price pulls back, hiding our orders behind the wash where it's safe. So this wash started about, or this setup started about 8:50, it looks like, and we weren't into it until 9:30. So that gives you a half an hour or more to kind of watch this play out. And one of the hardest things we do as traders is have to sit back and watch. But it's critical because now we need to, we want to, put ourselves on the right side of the risk. But we also want to measure the kind of trade. I probably would have been in here. I don't know if I took this trade or not, but I see a shelf right in here. That would have changed the risk a little bit. Maybe thrown this down here. But I like to get out off of this impulse, this next impulse. I want to get out of here somewhere. I'm not stretching for new lows and new stuff because look at what happens here. Once price takes out the low, it turns. Once price takes out the low, it turns. Takes out the low, it turns. Takes out the low, it turns. And then it's got to go through its thing and then it turns again. So we're just aware of these things that happen so that when we're trading, we're not, buying here, trying to get up here. Maybe, in day trading, we're not, but, we want to get out. We want to get out right along this line here somewhere where price has established itself. Because as you can see, price comes up, pulls off, bounces into this a couple times, before it actually starts to really work its way out. So we have to use that to our advantage. And, um, dang it, I wish I would have traded on Friday. It was Valentine's Day and I had a date with my wife. So I I had to get some other stuff done. And it's always crazy on Fridays. So I wasn't really in the mood. This market's just got me kind of in a funk. So personally, now maybe you have something different, but right. But we see our setup again, right? Impulse leg wash test here. The problem I have with this, and I can just see it right now, is that's a really big stop. That's a really big stop. So, um, how do I manage that? Sometimes I cut it in half. Hide behind this guy here. That makes it more manageable. But this trade still hasn't worked out. If you bought here trying to wiggle it out, you probably got somewhere in here. And thinking about it, really, you were, my trading hours are for about here to about here, somewhere in the 11 o'clock hour. So let's just call it that. I would have been out, and if I was in here, I don't know. Once it starts taking off, I tend to move to break even, just because I don't know what's going to happen. Um, so but maybe we could have got something else in there. Maybe like I caught one the other day or last week. I guess it was the other day. His price was coming off and just making these little impulse legs. I I caught one because I was kind of just tuned into it, and I was able to see. Well, let's take a look at this one here. And this is, we're not here for quick riches. We're not here for. We're here to learn this skill of trading, so that we can use it. We can use it as as we're working our way through the market, so we can see this setup. So that's why we have to practice this over and over and over again. And I don't spend a lot of time. In the early days, I spent more time, but I see it so differently now. I just see it in a way that I can just, you know, I see this as a wash, you know, just from this hard up and this hard down. This here is a stop. Now that tells me something. That tells me in this frame, I can, put orders in somewhere toward the back of this thing and know that I'm going to have, a place to hide my stop. If I could get here, there, I've got a trade, right? The problem I have right now is like, how do I know this is going to be my spot, right? Because we really don't. We have an impulse comes down. The shelf shows up after the fact. Now I'm not even buying that. I'm buying this shelf here. I'm, not that that's a crazy. That's a really nice little trade, but you know, you don't get 3 to 1. Um, but just notice the characteristics are the same, right? We're pulling in down here. We're um, pulling back into this swing. It's a nice trade. I would do that. I would just have to manage it a little differently. Maybe move to break even here, and then as price breaks out the low, I'll just kind of follow these guys down. So it's like, and then when it gets down here, I notice that it's all the way down here. Um, maybe I'm tightening it up. Maybe I see this and I say, okay, I'm just out. I just got a 1-to-1 trade. There's nothing wrong with that. We take 1-to-1 trades. We take break evens. We take our 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 stops. We're just managing risk here, guys. We're in the risk management business. So then price comes down again, and now we look at our chart. Look over to our, what is it? There's a wash, right? Hard up, hard down. Gives us a nice little shelf. This is pretty. This is really nice. As price comes up here, things have changed. So when I say I'm a 30 to 40% win rate, this is what I'm talking about. I'm not going to catch every trade as it goes down. And then, I guess the question is how do you know? You don't know. You have to accept the risk. You have to accept the risk. Now, maybe the quality of this impulse is different. I don't know. It's just something I think about. I'm not trying to be perfect, but, I would take that trade. Impulse down from shelf. It's beautiful. This one's a great one too, but it didn't work out. So sometimes I just leave that up to, life saying it didn't work out, and that's how you do it. Move on. But we know the impulse is up, right? The trend is up. We've got a big fat wash over here. This thing now comes off here, and you're kicking yourself for saying, "Oh, geez, blah 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 blah." Well, it wasn't going to happen anyways. So there's nothing to get into here. You're on the shelf of another, this other side over here. And this is what you do. You just work this chart back and forth as it's climbing up and climbing down, keeping these things in your mind, because you know that at some point it's going to break. Price comes up here, impulse is down. So I'm looking for shorts. Now, but just know where you're at. And this is a reminder for me more than it is for anybody. I'm on the line here. If I sell this here, I'm selling into my idea of the trend being over. So it doesn't make sense for me to sell this right here. I can mark it up and say, okay, I can see, but I have to, hope that it goes all the way into here. And I don't know. And I've got buyers lined up right along here, and no commitment here. So it's those little things that make a difference. I don't want to trade just to trade. So let's just say you skip that one. You've got one over here you hit, and then it's maybe a 1-to-1 over here. You got that one stopped out. This one's not. I like the quality of that impulse though. That's really good. Like this, really fast, really quick. What time did it start at? Like 8:15, and it was over by 8:20. So 5 minutes of just drop, 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 and then it pulls back and kind of gets yourself, into here, and then yeah, I don't know. It may have been a tougher day than I thought, because really now you're toward the end here, and if you've traded here, you're probably, I don't know. I'm not convinced this is where I want to buy or sell. I don't want to sell this into low. I know the setup's here. I know you've got a nice wash to hide behind, but I also know that the flow is up right now. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was a good day to sit on the sidelines. But this is what we do, guys. We're just inching our way through the market, looking for these setups as price makes an impulse and then pulls back down into it. Over here, I'm trading. This is, oh wait, this is the day before. Yeah, so never mind. I'm not even trading this. This is just me working up to the day that, um, right before market opens. And there's a measured move right there. Are we getting news this week? Anybody pull up the news at all? Let's see what they got here. Monday. Eurogroup meetings, trade balance. Everybody's in chaotic. Oh, so we have some Fed meeting talks today. So So people are going to speak about some stuff this afternoon. Cash rates. Tuesday's got some England, CAD, blah, blah, blah. Trump's talking on Tuesday. Nobody cares. Well, everybody cares, but nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? And then, okay, some more Fed meetings. Unemployment. It looks kind of like a busy week. That's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Retail sales at the end of the week. Okay. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Just remember to keep your tighten up them stops and use a stop or use a stop. Hide behind your wash and just accept the risk if it comes your way. Don't fight it. Don't, you can cuss at it, all that stuff. You just have to take it. I took a couple hits early this month and a couple of break evens and a couple of winners, so I'm doing okay. But I'm just, reminding you guys that myself that, and it doesn't take a lot to do well. That's the thing. Like, there's more, observe more and trade less. And if you feel like you have to trade a ton, go on sim and just trade your heart out over and over and over and over again. Just try and get it all out of your system. That'll help you understand and get rid of some of the itch. Um, I'm not here to get rich quick. I'm here to have a business that I can take with me anywhere I go and be good at it. And that's all I want. I don't know if I see any trades. I don't know. It looks like pre-market was some pretty decent stuff. And then whatever's happening over here. But I'm just going to keep this up and just kind of keep my eye on it, see what happens for the rest of the day. It wouldn't surprise me if price ends up down here. If it jumps on this, if it comes back into here, I'll buy that, right? But just know that um, you're bumping up against the bigger time frame too. So this pressure cooker here, it could just end up climbing up out of here and just leaving everybody behind. And that's that, which, that would have been your entry right there. But it's still a massive stop, and we're not trading the hourly, so, come on, we're day traders here. All right, have a great day, and we'll talk tomorrow.